welcome to today's live stream. This is the first time I'm trying it this way. What I'd like to try is sharing both the live shooting of the photo as well as the editing. The shooting isn't exactly live because I filmed it before this live, but I'm going to show it to you live and see how that works out. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over here. I'm going to play the video and I'm going to play it on double time because yet again I had an issue with my audio. I had my microphone on me, I had it turned on. I'm not exactly sure what went wrong. I have one guess, but for the sake of this video I'm just going to play it for you in the background and I will just kind of narrate what was going on. And if you want to join, you're welcome to ask any questions or chat with me if anyone happens to be there while I'm streaming this. So here I'm just explaining that I walked out the front door and I found a moth at the bottom of the front of the house. So I'm going to get down really low and try and take a picture of the moth at the same level that it's at, which means that I'm tilting my screen so that I can, instead of looking through the viewfinder, I can tilt the screen and see what I'm looking at, even though the camera is like down on ground level basically. I was gonna turn on the captions because sometimes YouTube can pick up on what's being said even without the volume. Oh yeah, here I am talking. Here I'm talking about how I'm talking quietly just in case I disturb the moth. I wonder if that's part of why the audio wasn't being picked up. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. I think it should have still picked it up. I really have no idea if moths can actually hear anything. So whatever, just in case I was trying to be quiet, but it did not seem to be fazed at all by my being there. And I've noticed that about moths. It does seem like once they're hanging out somewhere, they don't really move. There's another photo that I took of a moth on our sliding door one day that was, I'll just move this out of the way here, sorry. It was really a cool spot to be taking a picture of a moth because it created this reflection that just looked really cool of the moth. I'm actually a little distracted as I talk to you because I'm going to see if there's any chance I can find it and show it to you. Just gonna check here. Actually, fastest way to show you might be, there we go. You can see, you can probably see the words at the bottom that are explaining what I'm doing here. Yeah, basically I decided that with the moth, I wasn't really getting what I was looking for. So I decided to get a little backup photo. Found this little purple flower amongst my flowers that haven't bloomed yet. And I'm just gonna slide over to show you this other photo that I was trying to talk to you about earlier. This is the moth photo that I got on the sliding door. And this moth just stayed put for quite a while, so I had lots of time to experiment and get as much of him in focus as I could. Turned out really cool. I love the way that his, I don't know, fluffy head area is in focus and that he's fully reflected in the glass. So this photo is actually turned on its side. So in reality, his head was facing up and his wings were facing down on the glass. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And all right, so here I've got some zinnias that I planted by the side of the house, but they have not bloomed yet. So I just saw this random little purple flower that was in bloom and decided to try and get a shot of it. I was not super happy with what I was seeing through my viewfinder of this flower. It just seemed like not enough. I couldn't get a deep enough depth of field, which is always something I'm struggling with macro photography. So when we'll take a look at, we'll take a look at the photos in a minute in Lightroom and see what we got, but I'm not super optimistic about it. It just wasn't quite giving me what I was hoping for. So you'll see, maybe I'll just fast forward through this a little bit. Oh, here I'm, stop for a second because, oh yeah, I'm just explaining how I'm gonna try combining this video with this live. So after I did this, it just didn't feel like I was getting what I wanted. So I go over, where are we here? Oh, just right here in the same garden, there were these teeny tiny little flowers. Let's see if there's a moment where I show you how small they are. I think I tried to show you by pointing at them with my finger, but I realized that watching me while I'm talking and you can't really hear anything I'm saying in the video is not that interesting, but yeah, let's see. Oh, you can see right here, just, can you see my mouse? Right here, these teeny tiny little flowers is what I took a picture of, and I have the most hope for those. So we'll head over to Lightroom and take a look and see what we got there. And in the future, I will try a live this way again, but hopefully with sound, so I don't have to narrate everything. It'll be easier to listen to what I'm saying in the moment. So let's take a look at these moth photos. Yeah, just this part of the moth where the head was, I feel like that would have been the most interesting. I mean, other than the pattern of the moth, I think that would have been the most interesting part. And I think just with these rocks as they are down here, I wasn't able to get my camera, well, the combination of the rocks and the fact that the moth's head was so close to the ground and the lighting, it's pretty dark down there. There wasn't really any light shining on its head area. I just wasn't able to get the coolest part in focus. Like, I don't know if that must be his eyes. Yeah, and this part, I don't know. It just doesn't look as cool as I think I would want it to. So I'm not really going to focus on editing that photo. And here you can see like this part of the flower's in focus, but then this part's not, and this part's not, and it's not like the good kind of partly out of focus. It's like not that interesting to look at. That one, even though that's more in focus, it's not very nicely in focus. I don't know why that was not working for me. This is probably the best one, and it's still like the middle part with the most detail isn't in focus, so I'm not gonna go for that one. Okay, yeah, as I suspected, this one is cooler. Okay, this one's better. Mark this one. Let's just go through these and find the best one. I like the background being blurry and then having the flowers kind of emerge into focus out of the blur. So what I'm doing, excuse me, what I'm doing right now is just flagging the ones that I think look like they're better in focus, and then I'm going to sort for the flagged items. We've limited it down to 7, so now I'm just going to be a little more picky and choose my favorite. Okay, I don't like that one because it's way off to the side. This might be my favorite. Let's see. Kind of like like the placement of that one actually. Get rid of that one. This is where I just kind of dig in and get a little bit picky. Get rid of that one. This might be my favorite, but I'd like to crop it down a little bit. Okay, so now we get to play. I'm just gonna decrease the haze a little bit. You can see what moving the haze to the left does, not what I'm going for. A little to the right, I think I like. Bump the clarity a smidge. Let's see, I don't want to overdo it, so I'm gonna bring these back a little closer to the center. I'm gonna try playing with the exposure a little bit. Excuse me. Now we have a fair bit of noise. So I'm gonna play with the luminance and see what it does. Look at a little bit of a before and after. I just want to check for one moment here, since I am new to streaming. Oh. Hi, Daxon. There is someone there. Yeah, it's not showing up in my chat thing here, so let me fix that. There it is. Yay, there, Daxon. I can see your comment. All right, we're switching back over. Gonna show the chat. There we go. Thanks for your support, Daxon. Okay, back to editing. So I wanted to try playing with the luminance, which takes away some of this like noisy, grainy look. Do I still like it? Do I lose too much detail? I can bring my detail back a little bit and play with contrast and clarity. Texture. I don't think I'm losing anything that I would be sad about. And sometimes on a photo like this, I like to play with adding a vignette. So if you go all the way left, yeah, all the way left is darker, all the way right is lighter. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today. It's not a very difficult photo to edit, and I will just, let me switch over here. Yeah, it was mostly a test today to try showing the process of taking the photo and editing the photo all in one live and getting used to the streaming software. So next time I try this, I will schedule it a little more in advance than I did today so that people are aware. And if anybody wants to join with me live and chat and ask questions, you can. And otherwise, I will just go through the editing process and I'll practice that daily until I get more comfortable with it. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Now let me see if I can end this stream.